I've caught a lot of fish over the years off a lot of different lures. Lately I've been getting emails about a couple in particular, and what I'd like to do today is go over those lures with you. They happen to be in the boat, so let's go over and take a look at them. Having said that, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about top water, one of my favorite baits. Today we're fishing with a cotton cordell prop bait, meaning propeller. Prop bait means that we have a propeller on one end of the bait or the other. Some have it on the front, some have it on the back. My bait has it on both ends. That's where I like it. It makes the most noise, causes the most action, and that's what makes the fish bite. I have several of these lures. You don't want your buddy catching one off that particular lure and you in the back of the boat without one, so I always keep an arsenal of 2 baits. That's my preference. Right now we're going to talk about prop baits, top water action, one of our most favorite actions. Everybody loves it because we get to see it, we get to feel it, we get the excitement of the bait. The email said, Rodney, what's the best way to work a prop bait? The best way is to keep this lure in the water and working for itself. The props will do the work. All you have to do is work the line. And that's what I'm going to show you now. So what we're going to do is we're going to step away from here. We're going to get these props to working, and I'm going to show you how to work your line, how to catch those fish. One of our key things is on the prop bait, the propeller bait, is let the action do itself. A lot of times you've heard your grandfather, your dad, your uncle, your cousin always told you keep a tight line. Well, this is the case where we're going to kind of change that up a little bit. We're going to keep a tight, loose line. So what that means is my pole is going to be in the up position. We're going to give it a little slack, and then we're going to twitch it back. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow the props to start spinning in that water. So we give it a little bit of slack, we take our reel, we tighten up that little bit of slack, give it a little twitch, give it a little twitch. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow the props to cause some bubbles, some splashing, and get the attention of what we want to catch, which is the elusive bass. So we're just going to keep doing that. We're going to change our patterns up. Now, when we talk about the best way to fish it, for a prop bait, you want the splash, you want that prop to do its actions. So what we do is when that lure hits the water, if you're an impatient person or you find yourself reeling right away, what you do is you watch those rings. When that lure hits, you want the ripple of the water to just kind of flow out. If you find yourself being impatient, start reeling the right way, give yourself a count. 1, 2, 3. It took me years of counting before I could realize that my patience was very slim. So give it a count. Watch those rings. Tighten your line up with your reel. Give it a twitch. You'll see that the tighter your line is, the more action your bait's going to have. And when you get that twitch, you're going to see that slack in your line, and you're just going to reel it up tight. Give it another twitch. Give it another twitch. Now, keep your pole up. Reason being is once your line is in the water, you have more friction on your line. So when you try to twitch it, it doesn't allow the bait to do the work that it needs to do. So we'll just keep it up, kind of give it a twitch, and believe me, when that fish hits, you'll know it. You'll see it. And at that point, once you get the fish to hit, you want to feel that fish on your line. You don't want to snatch it right out of its face. When you fish, what you're going to realize, what you're going to know is that your reaction is a lot quicker. So when you'll see that fish come up and make it strike, and you'll actually snatch that bait right out from its face. So what you got to remember is when that fish comes up, just because you see him, he doesn't necessarily have your lure. So it's important to feel the fish on your line, tighten it, then set your hook. Now, when you ask the question is what's the best way to work that bait? The best way to work that bait is exactly what the fish tell you to do. Give it a couple twitches. If you don't get no action from that, change it up. Let it pause longer, maybe reel a little faster. Just switch back and forth until you find what works. Pay attention to what you do because the fish are going to tell you what they want. So it's important to get that right every single time. So now you've seen the action of the lure. So just to reiterate a few key points of this lure, when that lure hits the water, be patient, let the ripples settle. Keep your line tight. You're going to have those slack moments when you're twitching your bait, but make sure your line is back tight again. Third, and most important, is feel that fish on the line before you set your hook. Remember, when they hit that top water, you have a tendency to want to set the hook when you see the hit. They don't have that lure yet until you actually feel it on the line. Keep those tips in mind, and I promise you, this prop bait will give you years and years of a lot of fun. So if that's all you had in your tackle box, believe me, you'll enjoy it.